your 19 First Alert forecast.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. A live look outside with our First Alert network of cameras. Boy, that lake is churning in that upper left picture there. I believe that's out of Conneaut. No snow at the time in downtown. Looks like Madison might have a few flakes out east. And it has been one of those days where the lake effect monster is going to rule. We're going to welcome in 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page. Erica, we've seen these bursts on and off today. They've been causing accidents. It's Northeast Ohio. It is winter.
It is, and it's especially the early season of winter when you're dealing with cold temperatures like what you see out there right now. Most of us are kind of hovering in that mid to upper 20-degree range, and your water temperature is significantly warmer than that. So when you're bringing in this colder air over the lake, you get that better setup to see widely scattered lake effect snow showers, and that's exactly what's been the case today. And the problem with where these temperatures are is it means as those bursts of lake effect snow come through, they're going to likely drop a quick inch, maybe 2 inches, just depending on how long that lake effect band and how intense it is basically rests over your area. And you're going to likely run into some slick spots that happen very quickly, a reduction in visibility, all things that can cause some travel headaches if you're driving around Northeast Ohio. And you'll notice how widely scattered a lot of this activity is. We don't necessarily have those overly concise bands. You can pick out a couple here and there, but a lot of this is just pretty widely scattered stuff. And that's really going to be sticking with us, I think, as we go through the rest of this evening, just because of where our winds are coming from. So we still have a northwest wind that's set up, and it's going to keep these widely scattered lake effect snow showers around the area as we head into the evening commute time, likely even into the early part of tonight. So we're not necessarily done with the lake effect snow just yet. I think we still have a little bit of time before that wind really starts to change direction headed into tomorrow. So I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if we start off the day in a couple spots, still dealing with some on and off lake effect snow showers. But as we gradually get through the day on Friday, you'll notice that wind helping to push that lake effect band offshore, and it eventually gives us a relatively quiet day before we have a lot more activity that comes in, unfortunately, just in time for the weekend. So that is something that we're going to be watching. We do have another 19 First Alert weather day coming up for Sunday. We're talking Arctic temperatures, more snow possible, and wind chill values that are likely going to be below zero as we get into early Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday looks downright a little bit dangerous. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. The temperatures you folks are predicting, calling for, makes for a great inside day on Sunday.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick 60-second break, and we'll show you the 7-day as soon as we return. And welcome back. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page going to walk us through the next 7 days.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a roller coaster, especially as you see kind of the bottom of that roller coaster coming in just in time for the weekend. What we're watching for this weekend is a couple of different things. One, you're going to have a lot of wind. This is coming in with a clipper system, helping to bring in some of that Arctic air. So you see that temperature plummeting from the mid-20s Saturday to the upper teens on Sunday. Those overnight lows you see almost near 10 degrees. That's what's going to push that feels like factor early Sunday morning, likely below zero when you combine it with some of those gustier conditions that we expect as we go through the weekend. On top of just the cold and the wind, we're also going to be watching for not only lake effect snow up near the lakeshore Saturday morning into the early part of the afternoon, but potentially a system snow that rolls through our southern counties, and that could give some of our southern zones an opportunity for some accumulating snowfall, potentially a few inches. Sam's going to have a whole lot more on that coming up at 3 o'clock, so you'll have to tune in to see kind of where our snowfall total thinking is with that. But once we get into Sunday, that system's out of here. You're left with the cold air, the wind behind it, and then potentially more lake effect snow. Good news for us is that we do see a little bit of a warming trend headed into the middle part of this next week. The problem is that it just doesn't last long. So as we get this next midweek system, it will likely bring us some opportunities for rain, so we can hopefully melt away a little bit of some of that snow as we kind of get into Wednesday as well as Thursday. But you'll see the warmth probably not going to be long lasting. Your double weekend forecast showing you how we kind of start to dip back close to freezing, if not below that point. Still well below average for where we should be for this time of the year as we inch closer and closer to Christmas. Hard to believe.
Yeah, and if we get all this rain and a little warm up, there goes all our snow and our white Christmas. So we've got some time. We might make up for it. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.
Sounds good.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap up our weather forecast. We like to do midday, get you ready for our 3 o'clock newscast, where we have 3.5 hours of First Alert weather and news, all of it there on Channel 19. So until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Hope to see you then.